Happy 7th of November. It's about 11 a.m. The sun is beaming down, not a cloud in the sky, and reflecting off the snow, so I got sunglasses today. But yesterday, January 6th, it snowed pretty much all day, and so in the evening right before sunset, I showed you guys around a little bit here in Middle Tennessee, Nashville, Suburban neighborhood, what our snowfall situation looks like. But it's more interesting now because some of it was starting to melt yesterday with just from the ground being warm. But it got down to the single digits temperatures last night, and it's about 19 degrees right now, which is pretty chilly for how thin these gloves are. So I'm probably not going to be out here very long, but I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of what's happened after overnight. Should be a little bit more melty now with the sun beaming down, but not much. The snow overall looks much more ice crystally than yesterday. If I go walking it, it was a lot more powdery yesterday. It's a bit more compacted today, so that's good. We did go measure it last night before we went to bed, and it was like just about at 5 inches, and I'm telling you, nothing melted overnight, so it's just about 5 inches still. Just going up these stairs here, you can see that was slushy yesterday, and now it is solid ice. We're just sliding across there, so I'm interested to go see these roads now. Actually, with the sun out shining, you can see that there is quite a bit of melted water in the road, but near the edges, this would have been slushy last night, and you can see it has definitely refrozen. As much as I push on it, I can't break it up. Solid ice. Near the center of the road where people have been driving, no, that's solid too. Definitely looked like it would be slushy, but there's no slushy today. It looks like slushy because it was slushy last night, and then it refroze in that kind of slushy appearance, but I can stand on it. It is all solid ice, except for in between where there's just some water. So yeah, it looks like we have about an equal amount of ice coverage as last night, although actually as I'm walking, it actually looks like more ice coverage than last night, but it is worse because none of this is slushy like it was yesterday. It's wherever you see it, it's solid ice. Luckily, because of the texture, it's not quite as slippery because it's not smooth, but yeah, and as I'm walking, a lot of the snow, what looks like it should be snow, because it got so cold last night and has refrozen, a lot of the snow is actually crunchy to step on. It feels hard. It's kind of weird. Yeah, look at these evergreen bushes. I just love that. It's very pretty. And these road conditions here are much worse than yesterday. The farther I walk here, you can see much more ice coverage, and it's much more solid ice, so that's not good. This still looks about the same over the bridge looking at the creek. Still think this kind of view is really beautiful. I can literally feel the ice just cracking under my feet. It's kind of funny. Anyways, as I mentioned yesterday, since none of the roads leaving this neighborhood are pedestrian friendly and I'm not driving, I unfortunately can't show you what some of the more main road conditions are like, but what I can show you is what everything's looking like out here in the suburban neighborhoods, or I guess neighborhood of Nashville. There are multiple suburban neighborhoods in the Nashville area. Of course, I was just saying this is the only one I can really show you. This is quite deceiving because it looks really melted, but if you go stand on it, it's not melted at all. I predicted yesterday that this would freeze over, and look, I was right. I'm not going to walk very close because I don't know exactly where the water starts, and I don't want to go for a cold swim today, but there you go. Frozen retention pond. These sidewalks are super slippery because most of the snow that was on them got slushified, and now it's refrozen to solid ice with no snow, so it's really easy to slip. Okay, some of these sidewalks where the sun's been shining on them have really gotten pretty melty, which is interesting. I doubt that they're going to refreeze over again because it's not supposed to get as cold tonight, and then it's supposed to be in the 50s degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. So this is pretty solid ice. You can see the water under it. If I push on it, the ice will break and let that water out. But yeah, you can see this is like a solid sheet of ice that I'm walking over here. Fascinating. Anyways, it's supposed to be in the 50s degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. So I predict tomorrow is going to be when all this is going to melt. Because today it's not supposed to get above about 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see the sun is all the way out right now. And it's about noon right now, which means there's only about 4 or 5 more hours of this sunlight, and it's not going to get any warmer. Based on the current rate things are melting, it doesn't look like it's really going to melt tonight. It'll probably still be here tomorrow morning, but should dissipate pretty quickly because it's going to get warm tomorrow compared to what it was today and yesterday. I forgot to show this larger bridge yesterday, so here you go. Lots of sledding activity today. That's kind of a retention pond back there that a lot of people are sledding into. So it's my assumption that there's not a whole lot of water in there since they're sledding into there. This look over this bridge is particularly pretty, though it looks the same as yesterday. It's the snow on these garlands. How frozen is it? No, not that frozen. Mostly just snow. Look at the sheet of ice over the bridge. Holy crap. No cars coming, so I'm just gonna test. Yeah, that is pretty slippery. Just sliding my way all the way across here, this bridge. So I finally found some slushy looking stuff that's actually slushy. So there's that, but it's on like one of the most used roads in the whole neighborhood, so that's probably why. Most everything's kind of frozen over. These roads in the shade just got a whole sheet of ice like that bridge. So yeah, as far as the snowfall itself, none of it's really melted. We haven't lost any ground cover of snow yet. It's just getting a little more frozen, a little bit more crunchy, icy, just because of how cold it got last night. But yeah, them roads are not great. Unfortunately, the snow is still too powdery to make a snowman. I tried again, even after the freeze. But what's interesting is under the snow, there is actually a nice layer of ice at the very bottom of all the snow. It's a little bit slushy, but it's certainly there from where the snow started to melt and then refroze overnight. So it looks like here the ice lining this gutter drain started to fall out, but then refroze. That's kind of funny. This big snowball left over from the first snow on Monday is a literal rock now. Anyways, I'm hearing some dripping as the sun's beaming down without a cloud in the sky. It's starting to melt a little bit, but it is only about 22 degrees right now, and that's about as warm as it's gonna get all day. So we'll see in a few hours, right before the sun sets, how much has actually melted. Unfortunately, as the day draws to a close here, it's about 5 p.m.-ish right now here, and you can see there's some patchiness in the snow starting to melt away. However, for the most part, there is still a very decent amount of snow cover on the ground. Looks like the roads, as you can see, with the help of blacktop sunshine and cars driving over them, have very much melted away. There's still quite a bit of icy spots, and those should remain as temperatures drop into the teens tonight, overnight. But then tomorrow, with the temperature getting up in the 50s, I predict that at least the roads are going to completely melt away here. Okay, so black ice is definitely a thing, because I was walking here, I started sliding. This looks like it's all cleared. It is not. This is very much ice. You can kind of see where it's shiny with the sun going behind the clouds and currently setting. All that's freezing. I have been told, however, that pretty much all of the main roads, once you get outside of the neighborhoods, have pretty much completely cleared from all snow, ice, and water. It's really just these neighborhood roads that are slightly questionable for travel. Yeah, everything else is looking pretty covered. Really no melting today other than the roads. There are some signs of melting on our back patio too, the snow and the ice. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this little updated look of what's left of yesterday's snowfall, which is pretty much all of it, plus a bit of ice. But again, I predict that a lot of this is going to melt tomorrow. At least the roadways will clear tomorrow. What'll be interesting is how long it takes for the snow to melt out of the yards, because I feel like with the amount of snow that's on the actual grass and ground, there'll still be a bit left after tomorrow. But I guess only time will tell. Anyways, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already, because you never know what's coming next.